Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, my friends. How are you all doing today? I just thought I'd better show up in Mark's video today because everybody's probably been wondering what's been going on. How come I've not been in there? Well, it's a little too cold for me to be outside. I'm not a big snow person. So Mark gets to handle all the snow plowing, all the snow shoveling, and I take care of the household.
And the ducks, which are floating around here. Today we got a little bit of a break with the snowstorms. There's another big one coming up, but we got a few days of break. So I need to finish up this Scag lawnmower here. It's finish the maintenance up and a couple of things I want to do. And so that's what we're going to do today. And finish that up so we get that done and out of here and bring the next one in when the roads get dried out.
So I'm hoping everybody's having a good New Year so far, and I will see you again sometime when
at the end of
Mark
the video.
does another video.
Oh, well, they'll see at the
I
end
guess
of the
he told me that I got to be at the end of the video so I can do my normal goodbyes.
Yeah, so I'm going to get finishing this lawnmower up here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, the first thing we're going to have to fix is this seat cable. It keeps breaking. So it's what, about $14, something like that for this cable. The cable's strong enough, but these ends are not strong enough. And what happens is I put this seat up a lot. If it's pouring down rain, I want to go to next spot or whatever, and I don't want a wet butt, so I flip the seat up. Actually, not pouring down rain, but raining enough where it's going to get wet seat. So I flip that up and going down the road, it bounces a little bit and breaks the aluminum piece off. So what I'm going to do is make my own cable up and try it. And what I have, I bought some extra cable. I bought enough cable to make two of them. Let's see what happens. But we'll make one and then go from there. And I have some ferrules and a stop to make the loop. And see if it'll work. The only problem is I don't have the crimp tool, so we're just going to probably smack it with a hammer and tighten it up. So we'll make that up first. Okay, so I went to the Home Depot and bought this cable. It was, I don't know, I think about $2 or something like that, and this is about $2 or whatever. I think I got about $5 in the whole project, which is no big deal. The biggest thing is I don't want to keep breaking anymore. And, oops, dropped it. As you can see, it keeps breaking. It's not the first one I broke. They just keep breaking, and then I'm tired of spending $13 on them. So let's see what we can do with this. The hardest part is going to be getting the cable to bend around that tight, which I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I'm just going to put a washer on both sides, and that should take care of it. This thing is fairly warm yet, but we can feed that on there. Pulled fairly tight. I don't know if I'll be able to get that tight enough or not. That might be tight enough. Well, let's give this thing a swat with a hammer a little bit. Now be careful we don't hit the end of this because it'll smash it all up, and try not to hit my fingers. That's a fairly decent bite. Let's try to get some more on it. So you don't want to hit it very hard because it's aluminum and it'll just smash it all up and make it useless and break it. That should not go anywhere. Yes, we'll cut it about right there. Easy to cut cable.
This one's been stubborn a little bit. Yeah, that should do it. So it's trying to slide back, so I'm just going to hold on to a pair of pliers.
That is not going anywhere. So let's put this on a seat and see how it works. It should work out just fine. There we go. Seat's being held up. I don't know how long this is going to last. It should last quite a while. Should last longer than that other one did, because the other one lasted about 2 times of going down the road and the cable will be snapped. So, and I don't think it's going to wear through that very fast because it's not sitting there all the time. So, because there is a loop that you can put in there, but this should all work out fine, and we'll just forget about it now. Perfect. So another thing I do every year, I don't know if anybody else does it, but I do it, is I rotate the drive tires, because I have a tendency of making right turns all the time or left turns all the time, certain tires, and I just like changing the rotation of the tires. And it just, you rotate the tires on your cars, why would you not do it on your zero turn? So that's what I'm going to do. Besides, I got to take it off and inspect everything and hit a couple grease fittings I can't normally get to anyhow. Now we just make sure everything's all tight and no loose bolts anywhere. This has a tendency of breaking frequently, or this bolt right here does. The grease fitting I'm talking about that gets neglected all the time is this one right here. But 2 pumps, it's got grease in it, so I don't worry too much about it. Since I got all the tires and everything out of the way, I'm just going to check every single bolt, make sure it's all tight. These have a tendency of loosening up on me all the time. Like that one's loose. And that one's really loose. This one is tight. Looks like this one's about ready to fall out. I don't know why, but these always seem to loosen up. I'm always tightening these up, so I probably should put some Loctite on it. That should hold. biggest reason why I'm checking this is because that bagging system, all the weight is on the back of this, so I want to make sure everything's tight and I don't have any problems. You may have wondered why I drove it back and forth in the garage a little bit. I just remembered I did not run it after I changed the hydraulic oils, so when I first started moving it, there was a little bit of air in the system, and it only took a couple little movements and it was done. But when I go to load that mower up, I'm going to run it around a little bit more, but it should take care of it. Shouldn't be a problem. So let's get these blades changed and get on to greasing the rest of the mower. Now I know someone's going to say something about the impact wrench. I've been using an impact wrench on these mowers forever. It's just faster. I never have a problem with bolt loosen up. I've never stripped any bolts or threads off of any bolts or nuts or anything. I've never had a problem with it. So I'm just going to continue on doing it because it's just fastest for me. And usually in the summertime when I'm changing blades out, it's right around lunchtime, because I just remembered or just realized that they were dull, and I change them at midday, and as I want it done as fast as possible, and that's what I use at Impact. I can usually change out a set of blades on a mower about 5 minutes. That's all it takes, because I always have blades sharpened and ready to go. So now let's get this pain in the butt grease fittings done. Don't have to worry too much about these little small fittings here. They don't really move a whole lot. The biggest thing is these spindles. Supposed to be greased. The manual says daily, but I do it once a week. Grease zerk on this thing is right under here, and you can't see it. You can't do nothing with it. This one's not too bad if you get the fitting on it. This other one is a different story because all the pulleys and everything are in the way. And the last one. Before I flip this all down and start putting everything else back together, yeah, you can somewhat see that seam right there in the belt. This belt will blow apart right there. It does every single time. This is my last belt, which that belt's got about 50 hours on it, so probably about the end of June it'll have another 100 hours on it, so about 150 hours that belt will come apart. So I do have an extra belt. I have a Scag belt. Springtime, once we get some extra money coming in and we get busy again, we start getting a lot of things going, I will be getting another belt from a parts store. I'll be getting an aftermarket belt and try that out because it's got to last longer than 150 hours like these Scag belts do. And from what I've seen online and on YouTube, I'm not the only one that's having this problem. Scag seems to have a problem with the Tiger Cub with that bagging system. It seems to about 150 hours blows them belts. I've seen it several times, or several people have mentioned it. So there is no other brand or dealer in my area that has a bagging system like the Scag does. So that's why I kind of stuck with Scag, because I like that system. It saves me a pile of time. I just got to carry extra belts at, I don't know, $60, $70 a belt, something like that. That's what I go through 4 or 5 of them a year or something like that. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I always have to have extra belts. So we'll see what happens with aftermarket belts this summer. So let's hook up the bagging system now. Okay, this thing's kind of a pain in the butt to hook up, but it's not too awful bad at the same time. Got to get it lined up and lock it forward for the pins. Line the pins up and wiggle it on. That's the hard part. Now, since this is a new belt, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to put on because it's stiff and doesn't like to go anywhere. I have to do it more than once, but it should work out good. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna. That's just simple. There's just a little hook down here on the bottom. It's hooked in, and that's it. It's done. I do one last start up, spin the blades, make sure everything's right. this mower is ready to go. Everything's all been checked out and greased and prepared for the spring. Now we just need a little bit of dry road so I can take this back to my shop and grab my other mower.
He's going to have a lot of problems with that because the roads are really bad right now. They're full of ice and they're rough.
Yeah, they're real rough shape because all that snow and slush and everything from the last storm frozen before they can pick it all up. So that's pretty much going to be the end of my video for today. So I thank you for watching and subscribing. You can check out the links in the description box below. We greatly appreciate it. Have a good evening. Peace be with you. Goodbye. See you at the next lawn. Wait, it's too cold for the next lawn. Probably for the next driveway. Goodbye.